The Science of Dopamine, a Path to Lasting Motivation. Welcome to this transformative session, where we uncover the secrets behind one of the most fascinating chemicals in the brain, dopamine. If you've ever wondered why you feel motivated one day and completely drained the next, this is a must-watch. Today, you'll discover how mastering your brain's dopamine system can unlock long-lasting motivation and help you build the life you've always wanted. Let's dive right in and start with the basics. Dopamine is often called the feel-good chemical, but it's so much more than that. At its core, dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a chemical messenger in the brain responsible for sending signals between cells. While it's associated with pleasure, dopamine's real superpower is driving action and motivation. It's what propels you to chase goals, take risks, and work towards rewards. Think of dopamine as your brain's internal motivator. Imagine seeing a delicious piece of cake. You haven't even tasted it yet, but anticipation floods your brain with dopamine, encouraging you to take action and grab that cake. This is a perfect example of dopamine's role in creating a feedback loop between effort and reward. But here's the key takeaway. Dopamine isn't just about rewards, it's about the pursuit of rewards. It's what keeps you focused, resilient, and striving toward meaningful goals. Yet, like all good things, there's a downside. Dopamine can also get hijacked by unhealthy habits. Before we get there, let's dive deeper into how dopamine shapes your everyday motivation. Have you noticed how social media notifications light up your day? Or how binge-watching your favorite show feels irresistible? That's dopamine at work. Dopamine drives much of your behavior through a consistent cycle. You take an action, the reward system is triggered, and your brain gets a hit of dopamine. Think of it like a carrot and stick system. Your brain learns to associate certain behaviors with pleasure, which keeps you coming back for more. But motivation isn't always smooth sailing. Dopamine doesn't always lead you to productive actions. In fact, it can trap you in unproductive loops, from scrolling endlessly online to procrastinating important tasks. Why? Because the brain doesn't distinguish between good habits and bad habits. It simply chases whatever provides the quickest dopamine reward. This is where motivation breaks down. When you focus solely on short-term dopamine hits, like consuming junk food or losing hours to video games, you start to sacrifice long-term goals and satisfaction. Are you unknowingly letting dopamine control you? The good news is you can flip the narrative. Let's first look at the dangers of overstimulation. Here's the problem. In today's world, we're bombarded with instant dopamine triggers. Social media likes, text messages, video games, fast food, you name it. These quick, easy rewards might feel good, but they're rewiring your brain in harmful ways. When your brain becomes accustomed to high dopamine spikes, it craves more and more to feel the same level of pleasure. Think of it as a tolerance buildup. What starts as harmless scrolling can spiral into hours wasted online, leaving you drained of energy and focus. This overstimulation leads to what some scientists call dopamine burnout. Symptoms include lack of motivation, trouble concentrating, and even struggling to enjoy activities that once made you happy. In simple terms, your brain becomes so used to quick fixes that it loses its ability to stay motivated for longer-term goals. Here's the hard truth. If you don't take control of your dopamine system, it will control you, and not in a way that fuels your success. Thankfully, science shows that you can rewire your brain, step by step, to break free from unproductive behaviors. Let's explore how to reset your dopamine system and embrace a life of true fulfillment. If you want to master motivation, you must work with your dopamine, not against it. The best way to do this is by designing your habits intentionally, and this starts with understanding one golden rule. Dopamine loves progress, not perfection. Here's what that means. Instead of aiming for massive, overwhelming goals all at once, break them down into much smaller, achievable steps. When you complete a tiny goal, whether it's as simple as making your bed or completing a 10-minute task, you get a natural boost of dopamine. This is why consistency beats intensity. Imagine trying to climb a steep mountain with no clear steps. You're likely to give up halfway. But with small, steady wins, your brain builds momentum and starts to crave more progress. You can also rewire your brain using these proven techniques. Celebrate tiny victories. After completing even the smallest task, reward yourself with a fist pump, a smile, or anything that reinforces the effort. Your brain will learn to associate hard work with more dopamine. 2. Focus on process, not just outcomes. Instead of obsessing over results, commit to enjoying the journey. For example, if your goal is fitness, focus on completing your daily exercise, not just the number on the scale. 3. Practice gratitude. Spending 5 minutes reflecting on what you're grateful for can significantly elevate dopamine levels, keeping you motivated for bigger goals. These techniques create a sustainable flow of dopamine that keeps you productive without burnout. Now let's address an important question. What happens when you overload your brain with too much dopamine? To prevent burnout, limit digital consumption. Social media and entertainment apps are engineered to trigger endless dopamine hits and can drain your focus. Consider taking breaks. A digital detox for even a few hours daily can work wonders. 2. Prioritize rest. Sleep isn't just essential for physical health, but for replenishing your motivation. Without enough rest, your dopamine system struggles to function properly. 3. Schedule deep work sessions. Dedicate uninterrupted blocks of time to meaningful tasks. This reduces distractions that pull you into unproductive dopamine loops. By retraining your brain to enjoy effort and focus, you'll get closer to your goals without constant spikes or crashes. You might be wondering, what else can I do to naturally boost dopamine levels? The answer lies in daily lifestyle habits. Exercise regularly. Physical activity, especially cardio, is one of the most effective ways to increase dopamine production. Even a 20-minute walk can release feel-good chemicals that improve your focus and mood. 2. Healthy nutrition. Your diet directly impacts dopamine production. Foods high in tyrosine like almonds, bananas, and lean protein can serve as building blocks for dopamine. Mindfulness practices. Meditation helps reset your dopamine system by calming the brain and enhancing dopamine receptors. Just 10 minutes of mindfulness a day can have a profound impact. 4. Align actions with values. Motivation is stronger when it's tied to meaningful goals. Ask yourself, what do I truly care about? Pursuing intrinsically rewarding actions keeps dopamine flowing sustainably. These habits not only help increase dopamine, but also amplify your sense of purpose and lasting motivation. Now that you know the science and strategies, it's time to put this knowledge into practice. Here's a step-by-step dopamine reset process. Identify triggering habits. Pinpoint the actions that drive unproductive dopamine spikes, scrolling endlessly or mindless snacking. Asterisk, asterisk. Identify triggering habits. Asterisk, asterisk. Pinpoint the actions that drive unproductive dopamine spikes, scrolling endlessly or mindless snacking. Asterisk, asterisk. Identify triggering habits. Asterisk, asterisk. Pinpoint the actions that drive unproductive dopamine spikes, scrolling endlessly or mindless snacking. Replace triggers with healthier alternatives. Swap your social media time with exercise, reading, or journaling. 3. Introduce micro-rewards. Celebrate small milestones regularly to inject natural doses of motivation. 4. Track progress. Weekly, track the changes you make. Seeing progress reinforces the habits and boosts motivation further. Remember, rewiring your brain is a slow and steady journey, but the results will leave you feeling more in control of your life than ever before. To wrap up, let's recap what we've learned today. Dopamine is the brain's powerful motivator, but it can either work for you or against you. By understanding its role and implementing simple science-backed strategies, you can harness dopamine to build sustainable motivation and success. Start small, shift one habit, celebrate victories, and watch how your life transforms. Remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Master your dopamine and you unlock the path to becoming the best version of yourself. So what will your first step be? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more content that will fuel your self-improvement journey. Until next time, stay motivated.